Hey, we back. I'm here on the Mudae official server where we're just doing a quick video on a potential update, I guess you could call it. So this update here listed is in the list of commands channel. If you want to look on the official server, it's not in infos yet. And as it says at the top, it's only been updated on this server. So this is basically a test, right? It's just a test to see if this works out. As it says at the bottom here, the values are temporary. You can use feedback to discuss what you would like to change. So they're just testing a few things out, which is why I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video. I'm just letting you guys know that it exists. Maybe you can make some cool plans for when the update, if the update does roll out to all global servers. I'm pretty sure it's been implied, Sarah has implied that it's going to roll out to all servers eventually, just they might change the values. I think that's the point. I'll probably make another video on this when the update does properly come out. I'm mostly just happy that Mudae's actually getting updates. It's almost a coincidence. Hey, look at that, it's after slash commands have been rolled out. Makes you wonder, you know, maybe Sarah has actually been putting in a lot of effort, you know, in the background. Hey, I don't know, I think we're too harsh, really. But anyway, yeah, we had a Mudae update like last week or something, and then we've got this one coming out soon. Anyway, let's go over what's written in the update for now. So what have we got? We have some BW values have changed. This is the new command added in the recent update, Boost Wish. So it's actually got a buff, which is pretty cool, because I've already said in the past that it's probably pretty good, especially late game. Boost Wish is certainly a good command. It's worth using when you have a lot of rolls. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend using it early game, but when you start getting into Kakaroots and stuff, it's great. Absolutely would recommend using it. If you want more information, have a look at my video about Boost Wish, which I may or may not put in the description. But yeah, so that's nice, a buff on that. Then we have a quality of life change on KLs. There will always be annoying limits on things, and limiting it to 100 is certainly still going to be annoying, because some people are, you know, using way more than 100 KLs, but it is now up to 100 instead of up to 10. So you can now do 100 KLs at once. Now again, this is something that's good for late game people, because of course if you're early game you shouldn't be doing KLs at all. Realistically, you're certainly not going to be doing hundreds of them. But if you are late game and you have millions of Kakura to spare for KLs, you can now do hundreds of KLs at once, which is great. That takes way less time. 10 times less time, in fact, if we're going to be mathematical about it. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to be enjoying that when it releases globally. And then the main chunk of this update, disable list update. Of course, this is relating to game mode 1. Game mode 2 disables basically don't matter. Would not recommend using them. You use limroll instead. But if you want more information on that, check out my disable list videos. There's loads of them that I've made in the past. So what are we doing? The default overlap limit has been reduced. You'll probably recognize this number. This is indeed the game mode 1 disable list overlap limit. And this is a very crucial number, because this is how many characters you can disable. With the current number of characters in the bot being, you know, 85,000, this is not a huge amount. It's about a quarter of them. And I know back in the past it was more like all of them, maybe 70% of the characters in the bot that you could disable or something like that. So the fact that it's now a quarter of them, not great. This is why I recommend most people to use game mode 2 up until you've got an insane number of overlap limit increases from Kakaroots and Taos and wherever. Game mode 2 is the way to go. Just don't bother with game mode 1. But at any rate, this is being changed. It's being reduced. But fear not, it's being increased in other ways. So KL increases this value by plus 10 instead of plus 15. So that's another nerf. And then the 90% limit has been changed. So instead, the roulette can't be reduced below 2,000 characters available. So if you weren't aware, it was the case in the past that there's a limit on how much you can reduce the number of characters that it is possible to roll using, you know, your Kakura loots and your tower upgrades and stuff like that, right? You can increase the overlap limit, but you can't increase it so much that there's no characters left to roll, right? So now the limit is 2,000 on the dot, right? We also have +5 disable list slots for everyone, so that's just Sure, if you want to be super optimal, you can use them. I personally never even close to use the 10 that I've got, because it's better to disable a lower number of large series rather than a small number of small series. But anyway, that's another matter. Again, check out my disable list videos if you want information on that. But then we have the final disable list overlap limit. So this is the default one. The final one is increased by a factor depending on the number of existing characters, which is currently 85k. So, for example, as it says here, with the current number of existing characters, the default overlap limit goes to 22,000. So, despite this is actually a buff. We get slightly more, and the point is, as the number of existing characters goes up, we're going to get more and more disable list overlap limit. By default, it's just going to keep going automatically, right? So that's pretty nice. They're just trying to make it so that they don't need to keep changing this number on a regular basis. And then that means that each KL increases this by a little bit more, the KT increases it by a little bit more, player premium increases it by a little bit more, etc. If you want to do some maths, you can see the maths here. We have the base disable list overlap limit, which is going to be this 13.5 100. That was a weird way of saying it, but yeah, there you go. 13,500. That's more like what we want. There you go. Plus any upgrades you've got. So you, like I say, your KLs, your KT. That's this number, and then we times that by the same number again, plus the existing characters times 0.1. Then all of that over 13,500. So yeah, some complicated maths you can try and figure out there. The bottom line is the more characters that get added to the bot, the higher your disable list overlap limit will be, which is what it says here. These values are automatically adjusted with each character update. If 4,000 characters get added, you get a bonus of 400 for the overlap limit. If you don't have any bonuses, and you can expect 1,000 plus if you do have a lot of bonuses. Of course, this is a very arbitrary number. It depends how many bonuses you've got. 400 would be the minimum increase. If you've got loads of bonus, it would be a lot more than 400, right? So that's the point. Your upgrades are actually buffed, assuming that there are a lot of characters on the bot, which at the moment there are, and that number is going to keep going up. So there you go. That's basically that. I've pretty much just read the update notes for you there. I'm not going to, like I said, share some huge, insanely good strategy for this right now, because I'm not 100% sure yet anyway. It's not even been rolled out globally yet. So that's basically the end of this video. That's what the update says. You can make your own conclusions from that. But yeah, just letting you know that it's out there. I don't know when or if this will be rolled out globally. I'm hoping it will be. It's going to be great. Maybe. There have been a few complaints about it in feedback. If you want to go and have a look at that channel, again, it's on the Mudae official server, so feel free to go and have a look what other people have said about this update so far. I think these values are certainly going to be changed based on the feedback that has been given. I don't know what to. We'll see what happens, and like I said, there will probably be another video about this update when it actually comes out. But anyway, there you go, Mudae being active and getting 2 updates back to back, almost. We'll see what happens, I suppose, but for now, I'm gonna leave this video here. Bye!